friends. Today we're going to talk about the chemical reaction. And after we finish the lesson, we'll answer some questions. So be with me till the end. Chemical reaction. At first, before we talk about the chemical reaction, we have to ask ourselves why? Why do we study the chemical reaction? Or what is the importance of the chemical reaction? So chemical reaction have many uses in our life. I'll give you some examples. Number one, running of car fuel. Without the chemical reaction that takes place within the car, within the fuel in the car, there won't be any car moving. So the car has chemical reaction inside it which let it run. Number two, photosynthesis process, in which the sunlight, the oxygen, the carbon dioxide, the water, all of them are absorbed by the plant. And after that, there is a chemical reaction takes place within all of them or between all of them, causing the plant to grow, which after that we eat it. So photosynthesis process is very important, which depend on the chemical reaction. So chemical reaction is very important. Number three, medicine. All the medicine that you can find around you are gotten from a chemical reaction. So we can use this medicine when you are tired, when you're sick, when you have some diseases, so that you will get fine. That's thanks to what? Thanks to chemical reaction. Now, let's go to the main topic in this lesson, which is types of chemical reaction. Before we talk about the types of chemical reaction, let's remember together what does this concept mean? What the meaning of chemical reaction? As we learned before in first and second prep, the chemical reaction is the breaking up of bonds between the reactant molecules and forming new bonds between the product molecules. Look here in this equation. I have magnesium reacting with oxygen. So to let the magnesium react with the oxygen, I have to break up the bond between oxygen and oxygen so that the magnesium can react with one of them. So here, breaking up of bonds of the reactants to form new bonds between the product molecules. This is the chemical reaction. So again, chemical reaction is breaking of bonds between reactant molecules to form new bonds between product molecules. Now we can talk about the types of chemical reaction. In general, we have three types of chemical reaction: thermal decomposition reactions, substitution reactions, and oxidation and reduction reactions. We will start with thermal decomposition reactions. As you can see here, what does it mean? What the meaning of thermal decomposition reaction? It is the breaking up of compounds. All chemical reaction must have this sentence, breaking up of compounds, okay? So it's the breaking up of compounds with the effect of heat. Focus here. It's with the effect of heat. So does it mean that I will never add any other compound? Yes, you will never add any other compound, just the heat. As you can see here in this equation, I have a compound which is A, B, and I didn't add any other compound to it. I just applied heat. So after I applied heat, what happened? It decomposed into more simple compounds. So it was AB. When I applied heat, this compound breaking up into more simple compound, which is A and B. Again, in this reaction, all of the reaction depends on only one thing, the heat, only the heat. So it's called thermal decomposition. Thermal here means heat, and decomposition means that the compound will decompose into more or into a new compound. So thermal decomposition reaction is breaking up of compounds within the effect of heat into more simple compounds. Now let's see some examples on the thermal decomposition reactions. Let's take some compounds and apply heat for them. First example here is metal oxides. I said metal oxide. That means that I have metal attached with oxygen. So I have here metal oxide. When I apply heat for this metal oxide, I will break the bond between them. So I will have the metal and I will have the oxygen. I will have the metal and I will have oxygen. This is number one. So when I heat the metal oxide, I will get the metal and I will get oxygen gas. Number two, metal nitrate. Metal here is sodium, Na, and nitrate is this atomic group, NO3. So I have metal nitrate. When I apply heat for this metal nitrate, the rule tells me that it will decompose into metal nitride and oxygen gas. The difference here between nitrate and nitrite is that in case of nitrate group there is NO3, but in case of nitrite it's only NO2. As you can note here in these two examples, metal oxides and metal nitrate, both of them give us oxygen gas, but the other compound only is different, because in case of metal oxide it will give us the metal, but in case of metal nitrate it will give us metal nitrite. Number 3, metal hydroxide. Again, metal here is this copper, Cu, copper, and hydroxide, this is the hydroxide group. So I have here metal hydroxide. What will happen if I applied heat for this metal oxide? The rule tells me that I will get metal oxide and water. It will give me metal oxide and water. Number 4, metal carbonate. This is the metal and this is the carbonate or the atomic group. So when I heat this metal carbonate, again I will have the metal oxide, but the other group will be different. It will be carbon dioxide, because here I use the carbonate. If I use the hydroxide, I will get water, but because I use the carbonate, I get carbon dioxide. Number 3, metal sulfate. This is the metal and this is sulfate group. When I heat metal sulfate, again I will get the metal oxide, but the other compound will be different because I used here sulfate. So it will give me sulfur trioxide. Again, as you note here, metal hydroxide, metal carbonate, and metal sulfate, all of them will give me the metal oxide. But the other group will differ according to the atomic group that I used. So when I use the hydroxide, the other group or the other compound will be water. If I use the carbonate, it will be carbon dioxide. If I use sulfate, it will be sulfur trioxide. Now, I told you about all the examples about the thermal decomposition reaction. But I want to tell you some notes here. I told you that the metal hydroxide, for example, will give me metal oxide plus water vapor. So you don't have to remember or to save that When he give me copper hydroxide, I will write copper oxide plus H2O. No, not by this way, because the metal will be differ or can be different metal. He can bring for you magnesium, potassium, sodium, any other metal. What you have to remember is that in case of hydroxide, I will get metal oxide plus water. In case of carbonate, I will get metal oxide plus carbon dioxide. In case of sulfate, I will get metal oxide plus sulfur trioxide. So you have to remember very good that the other compound will be what? Water or carbon dioxide or dry or sulfur trioxide. For example, he can give you this magnesium hydroxide. Okay, and he would say that I applied heat for this compound. What will you do? So you will ask yourself a question. What's the kind of this atomic group? Is it carbonate? Is it sulfate? Is it hydroxide? Is it nitrate? Is it oxide? You have 5 probabilities. So I will say that it's hydroxide. So I can remember very rapidly that hydroxide gave me metal oxide. So I will write the metal and add to it oxygen. So I have metal oxide. Plus, in case of hydroxide, I get water. So I will write H2O. And so on. Okay? If he gives you calcium carbonate, okay, so I would say, oh my gosh, I saved it as copper. So what about calcium? What should I do? No, you don't have to look to the metal. You have to look to the atomic group that's combined with the metal. So this is carbonate. I remember that in case of carbonate, I will get metal oxide plus carbon dioxide. So metal oxide means that I have calcium, which is the metal, and with it oxygen. So I get metal oxide. Plus, in case of carbonate, I get carbon dioxide, which had the simple CO2. That's all. Okay? Now let's answer some questions together from the book. Mercury oxide, which is a metal oxide, and you see a triangle like this on the arrow, you will know that this kind of reaction is from thermal decomposition reaction. Which kind of the 5 examples of thermal decomposition reaction? This is metal oxide. How did I know? Because it's formed from metal, which is mercury, and oxygen. So it's metal oxide. And I can remember that in case of metal oxide, I will just break the bond between them. So I will get mercury and oxygen. Number 2. Copper hydroxide. I saw here again a triangle, so it means that this reaction is from thermal decomposition reaction. And because of it, hydroxide, I will get metal oxide plus water. So I will get copper oxide plus H2O. Number 3. Copper carbonate, an arrow on it, a triangle. Again, this kind of reaction is from thermal decomposition reaction. And here, what is the atomic group? This is carbonate. So we said hydroxide, carbonate, or nitrate give us metal oxide. So I will write number 1, copper oxide and carbon dioxide because I have carbonate. Number 4, sodium nitrate. I will see that there is again a triangle here, so it means that I'm in the thermal decomposition reaction. And nitrate group, how can it decompose? I remember that it decomposes into the metal nitride plus oxygen. Number 5 and the last one, copper sulfate. And here again there is heat, so it's from thermal decomposition reaction. And the decomposition for sulfate group, it's like carbonate and like hydroxide. We said all of the three gave us at first the metal oxide, and then the other compound differ according to the atomic group. And because the atomic group here is sulfate, I will get sulfur trioxide. Okay, there is another type of question that may come to you in the exam. Like what? Like that he will give you a sentence, there is no symbols here, and you will write the equation from the beginning till the end. You will write the reactant and the product molecules. So here the first question is, heating of red mercury oxide. Mercury oxide. I can remember that mercury has a symbol Hg, and oxide means that I have oxygen. So what will happen for them? I will add another compound? No, I will just make heating. So I will add here a triangle which refers to the heat. After I heat a metal oxide, we said we will get what? We will get the metal and the oxygen. So I will get mercury plus oxygen. Number 2, heating of carbon hydroxide. Again, at first I have to write the symbol of copper hydroxide. Copper has a symbol Cu and hydroxide OH. Heating means that I will add on the arrow a triangle. And then I have to remember, when I heat a copper hydroxide or any metal hydroxide, I get what? So I will get at first the metal oxide, and then because I have hydroxide group, I will get water. So I will get copper oxide plus H2O. Number 3, heating of copper carbonate. Copper, again, Cu, and carbonate, CO3. And because I am heating, so I will add a triangle on the arrow. Don't forget this. So after that, I have to remember what will happen if I heat any metal carbonate. Perfect. At the hydroxide group, at first it will give me the metal oxide, so I will get copper oxide, and then I will get carbon dioxide because I have carbonate. Now we finished the first type of chemical reaction, which is thermal decomposition reaction. And as we learned, this kind of reaction depends on heat, and we talk 5 examples on it. Thank you so much, and see you later.